Okay, good day everyone, and I welcome you to today's class. In today's class, I will be explaining a very important concept known as function. Now, let me start from the basic mathematics. If I have in mathematics, if we have something like f(x) equal to 3. Now, this f of x equal to 3. This f of x you are seeing here is a function that accepts a value. Now, the value that the function is going to accept is dependent on what you give to the function. So in normal basic mathematics, we see that function is just like an entity or something that is capable of accepting a value and giving out a determined output. So if I have something like this, f of x equal to 3x plus 2 and I say find f of x when x is 4. I see that now. So it will be f of x equal to 3, 4 plus 2. So f of x will be what? 12 plus 2. F of x will be what? 14. I seen that now. F of x will be what? 14. So here now the value of x is what? Is 14. Becomes 14 when x is what? 4. So this is just a simple explanation of function. But in Python we have something that is related to this. So in Python we have what we call function. So function in Python are just like a code declaration that can carry out a particular activity, that can carry out a particular operation. For instance, now if you want to maybe write celebrate somebody's birthday and you want to write it in form of a code in Python, you can write a happy birthday function. Now this happy birthday function will be able to write for example, you want to say happy birthday to you, so this function will be able to write that happy birthday to you and then project it to you on the screen. So, and one very thing is this: there is always a syntax. Now the syntax is just like the structure of something. In programming there's what we call syntax and semantics. Syntax is the structure, while semantics is the meaning of the structure. So to define a function in Python, what we use is the def keyword. Def keyword means define. Now after the def keyword, the next thing you are going to write is the name of the function. So for instance, I want to create a happy birthday function to greet my friend happy birthday. So I have happy birthday Rakib. Now after this happy birthday Rakib is the name of the function. Now after the name of the function, the next you're going to put there is an open bracket and a closing bracket. Now after that you put a semicolon like this, then you come down, you move to the next line. Like this, you have defined a function. You have defined a function. The def sign is there, which identifies that you are defining a function, the function name and open bracket and close bracket, and then a colon. Now inside this column, inside this open bracket and close bracket, there is what we call parameter. I will explain that in the subsequent video. So for instance, now I want to define a function. Now inside this function, now you can now start printing whatsoever you want. You can now start giving whatsoever you want. For instance, I want to say print happy birthday to you. Just watch what I'm going to do. Range what? Now I've done this. Now happy birthday to you. So I've created a function. Now what I'm going to do is this. Let me click on run. You will see what will happen. Now you can see from here that it is actually running, but this content in my function I'm not displaying. So what am I going to do? There's what we call function calling. So after writing a function, you will call the function. Now you can also, okay, for instance, now let me I've written the first function. Let me write another function to greet another friend happy birthday. Let me say the friend is John. Let me change it to John. So now I've created two functions, and if I run them, you see what will happen. Let me run them for you to see what's gonna happen. Now it showed me that I've created, if the function has been created. But now how can I call up this function that it will give me the content inside the function? So there is what we call function calling from what I have said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to define another function called the main. Yes, I'm going to define another function called the main. So what I'm going to do, I'll say define main. Main. This main is a function that helps to call another function. Now remember, I have created the happy birthday Rocky function. That is the first function. Happy birthday John, that is the second function. Now for me to call up this function to get the content inside the function, I'm going to define a main function that will be able to call up these two functions and then display the contents that are inside the function. So what I'm going to do now is, inside this main function, I'm going to call these two functions. Now watch what I'm going to do. Happy birthday John. Listen it now. Happy birthday Rocky. So I've called the two functions. Now for it to be displayed, now what I'm going to do is very simple. Just watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to type main. I see it now, and this main here, this you are seeing here, is calling up the contents of the two functions. Now after defining this function, this function helps to call these other two functions, and then after calling up the two functions, you will also type main here. The main here helps to extract, to get the content that are inside the two functions. Now look at what is going to happen now if I run it. I see now. So you can see happy birthday to you. So that is how it is. You can see if I swap it from here and put Rocky first, so I see that now. So the function, this main, helps to call the function. Now take a look at what will happen if I remove this main. Just watch what will happen. I see that now. It won't run. But once I type main, it's like I'm calling the contents that are inside the main function. So this is what we call function calling or function allocation, function calling. So when I click run, it automatically displays the contents that are inside the two functions. I hope you understand that now. So this is just a brief, a succinct explanation of function and how to call up a function. So with this now, you can write a function to calculate the sum of two numbers, and then after writing the function to calculate the sum of two numbers, you can also call up that function and it will give you the result of that number. So just stay tuned. I will explain more on this in our next video, in our next class.